I'm Kira from KiraWoods.com, and today's video I'm going to continue in the series I'm doing about giving a reading or how to give a reading, the sort of tips and so forth and whatnot. And I'm looking at, today I'm going to look at the question about combining cards, because I've had somebody from my YouTube channel, so thank you to my subscriber, who's asked me to focus on how do you combine cards. Now it's a big topic, and I could spend quite a bit of time on it. So I'm just going to do a bit of a brief overview to give you a starting point. Okay, so if you haven't done so, I'd recommend you look at the earlier videos I've done in this series as well. In particular, the one where I've just looked at about the placement of the cards or the type of spread that you might use and how you might ask your question, because those things I feel are quite important as to preclude the question around now I've drawn the spread and how do I read it in terms of combining. Okay. So, look, everyone does it differently, and there's no right way or wrong way, and I do think develop your own way, just like I've developed my own particular type of spreads I like to use, and I've modified some of the traditional spreads to suit myself and what works for me, and using my own intuition and so forth. Do the same, I would say, with how you might read the cards. I mean, everyone's very, very differently. You know, what kind of learner are you? Are you very much a visual learner? Are you very much, tactile? You look at those sort of things as well as sort of how does your intuition talk to you? What sort of things in terms of how you know this is and your intuition speaking to you, do you find in terms of what you might look at in combining the cards? But some of the basics, okay, for myself. Okay, so you've drawn a card, okay, and I've got here the moon. Okay, so you've already just gone through perhaps looking at what does the moon mean and in terms of where it's positioned. So let's say this was the situation card. So I'd be thinking all the things about the moon, all the things about the energy of the moon, the shadow side, and the fact that there's something not being revealed and something I'm not perhaps seeing about the situation, and what does that mean in terms of the question or the situation. Okay. And notice here, I'd be also, now we're thinking about where is everything in the imagery, okay? So we've got this dog looking up at the moon, and I think this is sort of a wolf or something looking up at the moon. So their focus is up here, and I've got this, I don't know, it's a scorpion perhaps, or one day a client said to me they thought it was a lobster. I love that. Coming up, and if because I like to ask my clients what do they see coming out of this fairly turbulent or fast moving water here, and we've got this path going through. So I'm looking at, in terms of combining, I'm looking at the imagery and the way things are looking in the cards. Okay, it's all the direction is up. Everything is moving, wanting to look up. So what does that mean in terms of the situation? So in my next card, let me just find one here. Okay, so let's say we drew this moon next to this Queen of Cups. So outside of looking at the element of, it's a Cups card, it is a Cups card, but it is a Court card. So you're asking yourself, is this relating to the person or somebody else in the situation? We're looking at the combining of the understanding of I'm looking at imagery and how the imagery fits together. So notice where this Queen here is sitting on her throne and her focus. Now her focus is towards this cup. So she's quite strongly looking at it. So if she was looking at it in directionally towards, it would be towards this moon card. So I'd be thinking about in the situation or asking the client some questions a little bit about what they were dreaming about, hoping about, what was to do with how their heart was reacting, or their love, or their something they were passionate about, their very much sort of where that was in reference to were they aware of the whole situation. Very much in this card I'll be looking at dreams, vision, psychic ability. So are they having some, so forth. So you'd be combining, in other words, an understanding, and I'd be directionally looking at the fact the Queen is facing towards this Moon's card, Or in reverse, I might be thinking, okay, is there something about the situation relating to this focus of this queen on this water energy? Is there something that maybe is not yet revealed, that in itself, this is very much moving towards what is going to be the next card and how they fit together in terms of what is happening. But here I've still got this card here wanting to say, remind me that maybe I still don't know everything yet. Do you see? So that's how I'm looking at it and combining. Or if I had, for example, this, I've drawn here the Six of Pentacles. Now notice here we've got, again, so we've now got Pentacles energy. So I'm thinking about my moon energy, and I'm putting that now in reference to the things of the material world. So my Pentacles related stuff. So I'm thinking about my resources, or I'm thinking about giving and receiving, and how that might fit within something's not yet revealed around something to do with giving and receiving. I'm thinking about, am I the giver in this situation, or the question, am I the giver or am I the receiver? And what does it mean that maybe something's shadowed around that? Is it that I'm not yet aware of some giving or some receiving or some opportunity for this shift in my material capacity or resources? So these are the sort of questions I might be asking. Or if I had, say, a Page of Swords here. Now this is around my air sign, this is around my mental thinking, and we've got this page, so I'm noticing the focus of this page, who is looking away from the sword towards something, and this page is on this beautiful mountaintop. So this is a new beginning, of course, it's a page, and this page is in some sort of windswept moment. So this is around a thought that is flowing through, something that is ready to manifest, or it's like I always think when I see the page, it's like that brilliant idea, I'm just going to go for it, But I'm thinking now in reference of that relating to this opportunity for me to be able to then maybe share something of my resources with others, or be somebody coming in who this idea is going to have some influence over somebody coming in who's going to be able to share something with me that is going to help my resources or my health or my physical well-being, or because remember, it's anything to do with the Pentacles, so that can be anything that is to do with anything that can be manifested, whether it be home, money, finances, family, health, well-being, so forth and whatnot. So that's the sort of thing that I'm looking at, or if I've got an ace here, what direction is the hand flowing? So here the hand is flowing to the left, and I've got this beautiful pentacle, and I've got this next to maybe what is this here, King of Wands. Now so I'm thinking, okay, so what is it about this energy, this Wands energy in reference to this new beginning, and noticing that this is directionally facing this way? Is that significant? I might be asking myself. Or I might be asking myself that there is the combination coming of both the offer or the gift of a new beginning in reference to finding that expertise level, or becoming an expert, or becoming master, or have mastery over something that I'm very passionate about. Maybe this new beginning is the thing that I've just been needing to finally, be able to relax and know that I can now, I've reached that level of mastery over something that I'm really passionate about? Or is it to do it the other way, you know? So that to me, that's what you're looking at. So the combining of the cards, I very much focus on the imagery, because for me, I'm drawn to the imagery. I think the imagery is very useful. I'm looking at both how if there's water in it, the direction the water's flowing, the direction in terms of, particularly in terms of this being a Rider-Waite deck, the various images, whether whether it has people in it or doesn't, because there's a few that don't, particularly, well, in a way, all the aces, this is a hand, but it's not an actual image of a person. I'm thinking about, is this a court card? Is this a a card relating to my well-being? So is it a Pentacles card? Is it an air card? Is it to do with my mind? Is it a Wands card? Is it about my passion, about my desires? Is it that sort of energy? I'm thinking about if I got air and Wands energy together, or what element maybe is missing, because that's part of, I think, combining the cards. What element's missing? What element's dominant? I'm looking at, is there as I said, a lot of a color. What sort of colors are dominant? How do I feel about those colors? Is it a lot of reds? Is it a lot of blues? Is it a lot of yellows? I'm looking at numerology in combining the cards. So how do I have a whole bunch of sixes on the table? Is there a number of twos? What does that mean? Is it how does that fit with the question? How does that fit with the client? So there's all those sort of questions I'm wanting to ask myself. Is this a major arcana? So is this more to do with my higher purpose or my higher self? Is this a minor arcana? So is this more relating to my everyday thing or the everyday situation that I'm bumping into? Is it a combination of two? Are there any major arcana on the board? Where are they, if they are there? Are there a whole bunch of major arcana and very few minor arcana? And yet the question seemed... somebody's wanting to know about something like, what would it mean if I bought this house? Which is very about the everyday now, and yet we've drawn this spread that's all about major arcana. So what does that mean? And what does that mean for this question and this client? So combining the cards there's a lot to it. And it's something you will develop and evolve over time. And I think give yourself that break, know that, there are days I go mental blank and I know a card inside and out, and yet it's just gone. I'm feeling kind of one of those mental blanks today. Maybe it's because Mercury's retrograde. And that's okay. We're human, For myself, I come back, that's where the imagery is so brilliant, and I particularly love these cards for that, because when in doubt, the answers for me is in the images, it's in the colors, it's how I feel about the images, it's how I feel about the colors, the direction, the flow throughout the spread. Looking, have you noticed everything's forward, is moving from left to right, and then suddenly is there something that flicks back? What does that mean? So is that around something that needs to be redone or a relook? Is it in this question that's been asked, and you're reading it, you're talking to this client around their perception, their how they're looking or perceiving something, because you've maybe drawn, swords energy, and then you're talking to them around how that relates to this new beginning, this new idea. They want to start a new business, and they get this beautiful Wands energy, and then all of a sudden you've got an Ace of Pentacles going in the reverse. And you think, okay, so you might be talking to them about something is going to move along, and then they might need to rethink or restructure. Maybe they'll need to restructure their loan, or maybe something new will come in. Some unexpected money will come in that they will then want to restructure their loan, or they won't need that loan, or a new partner will suddenly appear on the horizon that's perfect, or that they hadn't thought about, that their business was going to have 3 partners instead of 2. But this person comes in and they bring just what they need. They're a techie expert or something. Because maybe they've got that beautiful night. And the night is the one that's facing suddenly right to left instead of left to right. So I look at that. So that's what I do when I'm looking at combining the cards. I'm looking at flow. I'm looking at the colors. I'm looking at how I'm relating to those. I'm asking my intuition. I'm relying on my intuition. I'm relying on my client and interacting with my client, what they see and feel about the colors. I'm getting insight and input from them, as well as what's coming through for myself around this flow, around this imagery. What's jumping out at me about the spread, I'm asking myself as part of the combining, is it all these, I'm noticing something of a familiar theme that keeps jumping out, throughout the whole spread. And so I'll go that, it's like, so that's what you're looking for. That's the wisdom of looking at how to do a reading. And it's practice. It is also a matter of your own work. So I think anyone who's wanting to do reading for others, you want to develop your own rapport with the cards. So I would highly encourage that you practice drawing cards for yourself, sitting with them, maybe meditating on them. Some people draw them, developing a relationship, a rapport, a connection, a feeling. And then through that, you'll find that when you see 2 cards that you've got this relationship or a real connection with that come together, you will naturally see how they intertwine and what that means in reference to the question. So I hope you found that useful. I look forward to hearing your comments. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you like the video, great. There's a like button. If you haven't subscribed and you'd like more videos, please subscribe. I hope this answers the question for the 2 or 3 people that reached us this week that have asked me to talk about how to put cards together. But it's a question that's come up a lot with a lot of clients. So I hope this answers the question for those specifically that I'm speaking to that have asked me to do this. If you have any other questions, just like below. If I need to, I'll do another video to take it to the next level. It's difficult doing these videos because I don't want to jump too far ahead and assume a certain level of understanding and leave a whole bunch of people behind. So I hope I'm sort of pitching this at the level that works for you. So thank you again. This is just the way I do readings. So speaking of that, I love giving private readings. To me, it's a great honor, and it's an opportunity to work with someone. It's very much a mutual exchange of looking at what is happening for you. It's about you when I do a reading. And I would love to do that for you. So please go to my website, kirawoods.com. I have a new booking button. It's fantastic. It'll tell you your time zone as well as mine, and it's very easy for you then to book and right away, and I will then just send you out a Zoom link, or however you would like to do the communication. I can be flexible. So please go to my website, send me your comments, your thoughts. Have a great day. Take care of yourself, and all the very best. Cheers. Bye.